What's going on, everybody? It's Q from Retro Q Gaming, and for some reason it feels like it's been a minute since I've actually made a pre-recorded video and not just a live stream. It's only been a few days off the top of my head, but it still feels much longer. And there's something going on at the moment, there's some rumors flying around and all that I basically don't specifically want to talk about, because I don't usually like to talk about big, way crazy out there rumors and all unless they're very, very pertinent to something that's very, very personal to me, like say the whole rumored MGS HD collection, which never unfortunately happened. Well, the port to the PS4 and Xbox One and PC and all that. But anyway, that's beside the point. So I will say, we're going to go into this video and take it with not just a grain of salt, take it with an absolutely massive heaping bowl of Himalayan salt. The good stuff, the pink stuff. But anyway, let's go. So what are we talking about in this video? Well, there's current rumors flying around everywhere, and the rumor mill is doing its usual thing, and it's churning out the latest rumors and whatnot. And the latest one to come out is actually around the whole Project Scarlet thing. Now, for those of you who aren't aware of it out there, Project Scarlet is supposedly the upcoming Microsoft console, the successor to the Xbox One. We'll call it the Xbox 2 or the Xbox 720, 64, whatever you want to call it. But there's some rumors flying around about that, and currently the rumor that we're talking about here is that supposedly it's going to launch with two different models. And these aren't just two different models like we had at, say, the PS3 era and the 360 era, where really the only difference was just, say, the hard drive size or something to that effect. These seem to be drastically different consoles in the sense of what they offer, what's inside them, and potentially what they can do and the price. So let's look at the rumor anyway real quick. So I don't mean actually look at it on screen, but let's examine what we know, or at least what's rumored, because we don't know anything. I mean, I know everything, but we don't know anything. Anyway, so the current story goes that there's going to be two different versions of this console. One of them is going to be a traditional home console, like we all know, like we all love when it comes to consoles, at least anyway. And what it means is that's going to be a box with powerful, hopefully, hardware inside it that can render games locally, be it from a disc or a digital download or whatever it is, because who knows, they might even not have a disc drive. They might not even have physical media drives whatsoever. But the point is that there seems to be a rumor, at least anyway, to suggest that there will be a normal, traditional home console. Nintendo, take note, because this is what people want. And of course, because the actual hardware is there and whatnot, it's going to be more expensive naturally because, well, you're getting more in the box. You can do more in the box and whatnot. And that console will be marketed towards basically your average gamer. I won't call them your casual gamer, but I'll say the majority of the market, and if not the majority of the existing market, and probably just the majority of fans really in general. Because what they want is they want to buy a traditional console that they can put in under their TV or beside their TV or wherever the fuck they put it, pop a disc in or digitally download a game and play the game rendered locally on the console. Hopefully better than it was done on Xbox One, because that can't really render for shit. But the potentially interesting part, and I say very potentially, we'll get to all that now in a minute, is the second part of this rumor. Because usually what we've looked at in the first part is standard fare. That's basically how consoles go every time. But what we have in the second part of this is that the other SKU for the actual console of the Project Scarlet is supposedly rumored to be strictly a streaming console. Now, what is a streaming console? Well, the hardware in the Xbox Scarlet, the one we looked at the start of the video, would be very radically different from what's in the streaming Scarlet. There would be very, very little hardware in the streaming Scarlet. The power would not be there. The CPU would probably be completely different. Not even just a toned down version. It would literally probably be completely different. There would probably be no GPU whatsoever, or else a very, very discrete one. And because of stuff like that, it would probably also be considerably smaller. But on the plus side, it would also be considerably cheaper. You'd only need a very small amount of storage in comparison to a regular, say, Scarlet, where you would need maybe 1 or 2 terabytes at a minimum. Whereas this other, you might get away with something like 32 gigs or 64 gigs of internal storage. And now someone's already banging out a comment and so, why would that be fine for the Xbox but not the Switch? Well, Mr. Nintendrone, the reason for that is, like Resident Evil 7 on the Nintendo Switch, this purported streaming Scarlet console would only be streaming every one of the games available to it. no games would be locally rendered on the console itself. The hardware would not be inside it to be able to render games and display them on your TV like a traditional console or PC. What it would do would be like Resident Evil 7 or like PlayStation Now. It would stream games in whatever quality from wherever servers on the planet somewhere, from those servers through the internet to your little mini streaming console and display it on your TV. Now, there's a myriad of problems that comes with streaming games and streaming consoles. One, it's all down to internet quality, internet service, and just in general, internet. If your quality of the service isn't up to par, you'll get stuff like drops, buffers, skips, and generally lower quality. And of course, the whole problem stems from if you don't have internet or your internet dies, you're up shit creek without a paddle. And of course, it would rely completely on something like the Xbox Game Pass or something new that would be similar to, say, give access to the whole library of streaming and whatnot. But that has its advantages as well for certain people. And it makes perfect sense why Microsoft will do this. I don't agree with it, which I'll get into now in a minute, but it makes perfect sense why Microsoft would do this. If you look back to when the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4 launched, the Xbox One was €100 more expensive than the competitor. It also underperformed hardware-wise from the competitor because you had to factor in like things like Kinect. Sacrifices were made to the actual hardware in order to make that budget what it was and fit the Kinect in. And well, we all remember Resolution Gate. I mean, shit, that's why we have the Xbox One X. But from a corporate point of view, I can understand this. If you can offer someone a considerably cheaper box, because like I said, let's say the Scarlet launches at 400 or 450 or €500, something like that, chances are this other version would launch 200 or sub €200. Streaming boxes are significantly cheaper. Look at any of your favorite streaming boxes out there. Generally, the best one to consider at the moment is the Nvidia Shield TV, and that doesn't even cost €200. So you have the same principle there. And to be able to get something significantly cheaper into as many homes as possible increases the amount of potential software sales, potential subscription services like, say, Xbox Live, Xbox Game Pass, or whatever they could potentially use for this new streaming pass. But overall, I think this is a terrible idea. This does not appeal to me whatsoever, and generally most people probably won't be too receptive of this. Sure, it can probably hit the casual market, but the majority of people are just going to buy the regular console, if they even have faith to buy a Microsoft console after the Xbox One. The quality of the standard Xbox Scarlet would be significantly better than any stream service. There would be no input delay or lag or frame drops or buffers or anything that would be associated with the streaming side of it versus a regular, actual, properly rendered side of it. And of course, barring some sort of always online 24-hour DRM check-in style like, well, Xbox One and believe it or not, originally the PS4, but they patched it out before launch, you would most likely not lose access to your library and the ability to play games should your internet go down. So I can see why they're doing this, and again, I don't really give a shit about it, I don't care about it. Yes, it is more beneficial for the actual company and the corporation to get as many possible consoles into the home, as many possible sales and drive up the revenue. But guess what, people? I don't work for Microsoft. I couldn't give a fuck what they're doing on a corporate level, what's good for their business, what's great for their numbers. All I care about is what they can offer me as a consumer. I don't give a shit if Microsoft are making $100 billion on Xbox Live. They're not actually making that. I'm just using this as an example. They're not actually making that. I'm just using this as an example. If they're making $100 billion a year on Xbox Live subscriptions, yet they're doing nothing with that money to give it back to me and quality products to me as a consumer, I don't give a fuck. What I do give a fuck about is what they can actually offer me, which is why the actual home console proper rendering version of the Scarlet would be in my wheelhouse rather than the other crap. That is, of course, assuming that all the games aren't coming to PC at the same time. We'll see how it goes. The rumours say that it's not coming out till around 2020, which is about 2.5 years from now, since stereotypically they do come out kind of towards Christmas. And not to mention, things change as well, as I can't stress it enough, this is a rumor, which I usually don't like to talk about. But still, let me know anyway in the comments section below your thoughts and opinions on the whole two potential systems, be it one of them a natural home console and one of them a streaming style box. Do you think it's a good move? Like I said, as long as it doesn't detract from the research and development of the actual games, getting the most quality out of the games, and what can be done with the actual console version, it's not going to be a huge write-off in my opinion. And which one would you be more interested in? Are you kind of drifting away from owning physical media or playing stuff on that, and you'd rather just say stream all your games for convenience or whatever subscription service? Because I mean, hell, people love Netflix these days. So think of a Netflix style service for all your Xbox Live games, not just 100 of them on Game Pass. So let me know all that good stuff in the comment section below. Hit the appropriate button to let me know how I did on a video, and while you're at it, why not click that little red subscribe button and even turn on notifications by hitting that little bell. Granted, it's YouTube in 2018, so actually getting a notification from YouTube about a live stream or a new video or something is a whole other story, but hey, at least you can say you tried, am I right? As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in the rest of the videos in my channel.